Dude, you can't crash into my WandaVision video because you feel like it.
Well, who cares? It's not like anyone watched it.
Yeah, okay, let's not get rude about it. Look, there hasn't been a terrible video for 2 months already. Can you please just give me something to do? Alright, fine. As of now, we are double uploading terrible videos. One every other week.
Oh god, where do I even start with this? The Magic Roundabout, an interesting 3D CG kids film attempting to reinvent an iconic IP and just falling flat on its face. This film I actually quite enjoyed as a kid. It was simple enough, but judging by the reviews, it's not really all that hot. Except, I started watching this film when I realized, sure, it's got a different name in the US, Doogal, that's not too strange. Except, it was far more than just a retitle. Doogal is a reinterpretation's reinterpretation. It's a redub. In Britain, we had such icons as Robbie Williams, Lee Evans, Bill Nye, Kylie Minogue, and Ian McKellen. In the US, our favorite film douche Harvey Weinstein saw the production and decided to reinvent it for American audiences, hiring Butch Hartman, yes that one, and then throwing him out too, essentially. Actors were replaced, lines were changed, jokes were added, and animation was unchanged. What a lip-syncing disaster. Now there's Jimmy Fallon and Whoopi Goldberg, Jon Stewart, Judi Dench, but she's British. Oh, and Ian and Kylie retained their roles. Kylie redubbed with an American accent and McKellen's lines just completely reused. What? This revelation of the massive change honestly halted this video's production for a chunk. I'm British, alright? I scoured the internet for a full Doogal version to watch. I bought a physical disc with no labeling for £20 and it didn't work. And finally, I just found a pirated version. Yar har. But man, there is just so much to talk about. Thank you to Madagascar Man for suggesting it on our Discord. So here's how we're gonna do things. The UK version looks much more clean, so Daz, you're entering that adventure. Trust me, it could be worse.
I guess that's not too bad then.
Meanwhile, we will be covering the disaster that is minus 52% in quality. Also, my girlfriend's joining me.
You have a girlfriend? Why don't I have one?
Let's get into the Terrible Doogal. So the film starts off with whoa, oh, oh, it's magic. Kicking off with mainstream filler right off the bat. It's a regular day and people are prepping for a little show. The cow, Ermintrude, is opera singing and Dylan the rabbit is falling asleep. Yeah, I feel the same. Then he's kicked into action and begins rocking out to another mainstream song, You Really Got Me. That's their characters. High-class opera singer and 60s rocking hippie. Hey, how do they do it in the American version?
Well, she's not an opera singer anymore.
Until she is again. That sounds identical.
I think what they've done is that they've used her opera singing from the original.
Yeah.
Cut around her singing normally.
That's so bizarre. I hope she gets a credit.
Is that the original as well?
Yeah, that's also the original. When you need real talent, you go back to the Brits. That's how it is. That's the way to do it in the Weinstein company. Yeah, they agree. And
Is that Whoopi Goldberg singing the rest of it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Because you really got me is where she goes.
Oh wow, hello.
Yeah, I can hit my notes. I'm a Brit. I have my talent. Moving on, Doogal is all about sugar. So he hijacks a booth, messes it up by stepping on the throttle, and crashes into the Magic Roundabout, breaking the seal for the baddie of the film. Also, it traps the others, including Florence, Doogal's owner.
Don't worry, children. Our friends will save us.
Why are you speaking like that? Aren't you a child too?
So there's a bad spring and a good spring, and the collection of animals, the snail too, have to quest to fix the roundabout by collecting diamonds. Sorry, diamonds. Here's a button that creates a sentient train and off you go. In the British take, he's Lee Evans and says some jokes.
Hey! Sorry, passengers. I forgot the passengers.
In the US, he's almost mute, or at least unfunny.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
You got it. I'm the train, and you're not.
And speaking of bad voice acting, Z-Bad. Oh god. In Britain...
I've done it. A lean, mean fighting machine who'll obey my every command.
US?
And you'll obey my every command.
And actually, they edited out a whole sequence and just smash cut to his powers. Ugh. And that's not even the worst part, the moose! I can't believe this is real. In Britain, he doesn't talk. He's an expressive, non-speaking, natural moose who communicates with its animations. In the US.
Oh, right on. The Blue Man Group's back in town. 2 words, sir. Personal hygiene.
In Britain, we weren't cursed with pop culture references and fart jokes. Harvey Weinstein, you're a disgrace. Well, okay, you've always been at this point, but anyway, we're skipping ahead now, as we don't need this to be an hour long. But trust me, there's hours worth of ripping I could do on every single line. Maybe it's a Christmas special idea.
So, the crew are en route. Here's a surprise from the British version.
Yeah, it starts with some sweets, man. And before you know it, you're on 2 bags a day. Maybe you got, like, a problem?
Thanks, Bill Nye.
In America, they just list a bunch of brands. No drug references here. In fact, in the US, Dylan's barely got a character trait at all.
Dylan! What? Bedtime! Gee, thanks for waking me up to let me know.
This gag is ingrained into my long-term memory. So anyway, Doogal is kidnapped and the moose charmingly leads the others to him. Well, it's charming in the British version. And Doogal is tortured for info. The gag is he's tortured poorly with rewards instead, but man, the Americans just don't know how to sell it.
Oh, please. Oh, no.
26? Oh, I can't stand it!
Oh, this is awful. Oh, no more.
Good, Sam.
Doogal is saved, Americans get to listen to an off-brand Mission Impossible theme, both versions have a Phineas and Ferb-style montage sliding down a slope, and Z-Bad corners them off a cliff.
I slimed my shell.
Did we mention the American lip syncing is awful?
This scene is probably one of the best, because they barely changed the script. Zebedee and Z-Bad clash and Zebedee dies. Kinda less intimidating when your villain sounds like...
I've waited 10,000 years for my revenge.
In comparison to...
Your days in the sun are over, Zebedee.
And the evil laugh is just ironic.
No, Sam, it's all in the back of the throat.
So with Zebedee dead, all are sad, and it's time for the lava level. Everyone's afraid of going across the bridge of death first, so instead, they all go at once!
Genius!
Now for the Brits, we get Lee Evans commentating the whole thing, but...
This is gonna be easy. That's not helping! No need to panic. Now is a good time to panic.
it's not that great. So they reach the first diamond, see Florence briefly, which leads to nothing, and Z-Bad returns again, takes the diamond and the map, and leaves.
Dude, that guy's like totally villainous, man. What is up with that?
Villains? What's up with that, man?
So next, they create a boat airship to stalk Z-Bad. Alright. And hey, we're halfway through, so come join the rise of subscribers, or you can give us a boost in the algorithm. We're still kicking on our new TikTok account and Twitch schedule, which you can see highlights of in #DazzReviews under the video. Trailer analyses galore. Or there's my other links on screen now. Instagram is especially relevant as I'll be posting my extra footage from my first reactions there today.
Doogal full movie 2006 HD 1080p. Video 1, how to start a keto diet.
We all need to know.
And there's Discord where I'm regularly about. It's like this whole thing's my job now. Crazy.
It's at this point we should probably say, these characters suck. In both versions.
There's no real development or even interaction between them. Each have their archetypes and they just say the relevant things. Ermintrude is high class.
It's hardly the Orient Express, darling. Does it have first class?
The snail talks about romance.
Look. In case we don't make it out of here, I just want you to know that...
And Dylan is a hippie.
Oh, man. That's deep. Hey, man, good piece of chance.
But hey, at least it's a character at all compared to how they diluted my boy overseas.
Dylan!
What's up, Doc?
My precious. Kidding.
Thanks, Fallon. Honestly, I think the best character is Sam. Both Ray Winstone and Bill Hader. Even if I still hate half his lines.
Can I ask about holidays?
3 weeks in summer.
That's off the hook, sir.
That's off the hook. Very generous, sir.
Very generous.
That's the British. Is very generous a British phrase? I think it's just too smart for them.
So they follow through the night. There's a goodish wordplay scene about wanting to be stars, but different definitions that made the US version. Only because it's unavoidable in the French-British animation. And we reach the next location, the temple. Brian blazes through all the traps in a gag, and I'm genuinely surprised the US take is better.
Oh, come on, it's all clear.
Because honestly, the wrong words can be crushing.
That's a better outline. That's, hey, an improvement on the joke. Good job, Americans. 1 out of 52.
What a snail.
Snail.
What a snail.
Following that is a battle for the riches against skeletons, using skills that don't really make sense for the characters. In Britain, it's another mainstream song montage. In America, it's full of pop culture references. Make it stop!
Also, Brian was just on the diamond. Why didn't you just grab it the whole time?
Z-Bad nabs the diamond again, and the crew decide to just head on home. But first, there's a train chase. Z-Bad doesn't know where the third diamond is, and I guess the map won't tell him. Anyway, as Z-Bad's demands get worse, Sam begins to rebel.
Dispose of a prisoner? Can't do that, sir. Geneva Convention.
Guess what? I'm unconventional.
I don't care if it's a Star Trek convention. Trekkies.
The US dude just having a meltdown or something?
So as their train speeds up, it hits full pressure and explodes. What a way to end the scene. Everyone crashes and the train is out of service. Time to trek in the blizzard back home. Sam dies, and so does everyone else.
So I think the happy ending is not real. They've gone to heaven and die here, you know? Even with the farting moose that speaks, they won't live.
This is actually all a dream.
See, look, they're dead. How do they survive in the snow blizzard? They're dead. They're dead. This is death.
I like how in the British one we're like, yeah, they survived, and then the
American, no, they're dead.
They're dead. They're gone. They're not here anymore.
Here somewhere.
Seriously, you can't sleep in a blizzard and survive. Also, they cut out a whole Paradise Dream scene where Doogal is essentially in heaven until he realizes he doesn't want to die. You know, I guess I can kind of understand why they cropped that out now. So we've looped back around home, and Sam has switched sides after being abandoned. I'd have more to say, but it's mostly to the script. The moose no longer talks, so even with the same lines, they just kind of gave up on syncing it.
Can't you even do that right?
You can't even do that right, can you?
So Sam is dead, and he had the crystal all along. Smash cut to Z-Bad and his final plan. Unless you're British, where you get to see the characters react to the place. In the UK, there's big classical music for the final bash. For the US, almost nothing. I don't know which is worse, the generic mainstream route or ASMR. Z-Bad is to freeze the sun, while the gang go to break the ice with opera singing.
If only the US version actually had her opera singing. How do they work around this, you ask? That's terrible. The point also, she needs to be an opera singer because that's what breaks glass. That's what breaks ice. Yeah, they're like, alright, the Americans won't win here. Let's chuck back to the British version. It's supposed to be a cow, not a cat.
That's the original.
Yep, and then they cut to the British. Only the British get a good ending. The Americans are dead in the snow. Confirmed.
While the US is left with...
Why?
Well, a lovely contribution.
Now, apparently, it's even ground. And they slowly steal each diamond. The UK gets a new song, the US gets nothing. With Z-Bad winning by keeping 1 diamond. Huh? The train blazes into Ex Machina the Day. Wait, so what happened to his twisted ankle? And Doogal runs for the final hit.
This was the moment when Doogal knew with absolute certainty that he had to rise to the occasion.
Judi Dench, why are you even narrating throughout this? You're British, and the British version had no narration. So Doogal succeeds at a headbutt, the ice is all immediately melted, and Z-Bad is sealed away, never to appear in the franchise again. He's a movie exclusive anyway. Everyone's happy. Nice. Everyone's happy, Zebedee was never dead, and Sam?
That's Sam dead.
Something so precious.
He never comes back in the movie.
So worthless. Oh,
They don't save him in this movie.
big shoe.
You watch this continue, they never save Sam!
Sam's literally the best character.
He's the closest one to a good American voice actor in this. He's dead! He did a good thing, no one ever knew. No one ever finds out he did something good.
It's time for you to return where you belong.
Oh yeah, then they just inanimated
What? And then watch this.
Oh yeah.
Just...
UK though.
Happy ending, everybody! The Magic Roundabout works.
So let me get this straight. Doogal is the worst character in the film, yeah? Everything is caused by his addiction to sugar. He unseals Zbad, he asks for dinner, he doesn't make a tent, he keeps his own food, he gets kidnapped, he reveals information when getting rewarded, he calls himself leader when pushed onto the bridge, is cowardly against the traps, he activates the lasers, causes the lasers to be hit after Ermintrude's whole uncharacteristic movement, he presses one button that saves the day, and then again that loses them the gems, and he headbutts a gem right at the end, not paying off any skill that he didn't have beforehand. And suddenly he's the hero. And he's still got a sugar addiction. He never developed at all. The Magic Roundabout has a solid, 60% reviews. I don't buy it. Well, I mean, I physically did. And Doogal, well, that's a deserved 8%, because that is an absolute train wreck. What's with the US version having all sorts of sound effects plugged in where they're not needed? Listen to this.
And the bad news is... I just pooped my pants.
Horrible!
The UK take was bland, but at least it didn't have...
Booyah!
My god, the characters were weak, but in the US, there's barely even 2 dimensions to them. And did you notice how often the same 3-second score piece was used?
Dog.
Ba, 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 ba. That's a fault on the UK version too, to be fair. This film was just an embarrassment, yet the sounds are in my long-term memory, but at least it's not the sound of the US version. That moose will forever stay silent. I'm not coming back to this film, and it's shameful how much stories are shredded up when it comes to making something for a younger audience, as if they don't deserve to have something of quality too, but I've no time to rant. I'm already spilling over plenty on time. So let's just leave this as my headcanon believes it to be, dead in the cold of night. For now, my name's been Daz. You didn't really care. Next week we've got an adaptation video that's already been mentioned in passing on this channel, and I'll see you in a bit.
So how was that? Dreadful. Shouldn't this have been a nostalgia episode anyway? Yeah, we struggled with the format there, so I'm homeless now. Maybe the 3 of us can cover the next terrible piece. If it's nostalgic. Maybe? Oh, okay, great. Even less screen time for us to somehow stretch out. Yeah. Or you'll never see me again. Maybe that's a good thing. This is very hot and it's becoming summer. We'll see.